Welcome everybody to the Fulham review / preview of the 2017-18 season. We are here. I'm here with George.
I am George.
And Jack.
Hello.
We are going to go through the season, a nice quick run through. Going to talk a bit more about the playoff semi-final, preview the playoff final, and go through our favourite moments of the season approximately 9 days before the big day at Wembley, where it could all come crashing down or we could be going up to the Premier League. So we will start right at the beginning.
Hang on. Before August, isn't there a bit of an announcement?
Go ahead.
So the reason why we are doing this kind of review of the Fulham season is because me, George, Dom, and then a couple of others are starting a channel dedicated to these kind of videos, these kind of like podcast videos about football. They won't all be about Fulham. They're just going to be about football in general. So if you are interested in any of that, it's going to be down in the description to subscribe. We're going to try and aim for weekly videos, but we can't promise anything. As well, down there, you'll be able to find all of our kind of Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, if you're interested in getting to know us a bit more.
Also,
How many of the followers?
We're also going to set the Twitter up tonight, and on there will be all the links to the podcasts where we upload them and some written work as well as spoken in podcasts. So check that out.
Saucy.
Brilliant scenes. We're going to start the Fulham season, the place where it started, in August. There isn't really much to say unless you're Lucas Piazon. It's basically how something's all very fun. Right, that's basically how we're going to go with this. Piazon scored 2 goals and broke his leg in a week. And Font scored his first goal, signed for 9 million. Apart from that, we just drew a game and lost a game, and it just was all a bit meh, really. So we'll go straight into September. Jack, let's go for October. Let's go. September.
Do you mean smooth?
Yeah. Cheers.
So September, we won 3, drew 2, and lost 1. It would have been 5 wins if we didn't drop late goals against Cardiff and Borough. But such is the modern world. I think the moment to forget about September is obviously Burton Albion. That was a poor day for everyone involved, especially me, considering I missed my train and had to spend an extra £40 to get home. It wasn't ideal. I think the overall highlight was obviously Font missing the penalty at QPR, which the ball is still rising now. And then about a minute later, Stefan Johansson scored and fucking slid towards that away fence, and the bodies were everywhere. So I know it's a moment to forget, but George, October?
So October didn't start too badly for a win this month. A draw late on against Preston with a 96th minute Dennis Odoi goal set us on more positive light, but then a poor performance at Aston Villa, a lucky draw at home to Bolton, and then a loss during the week against Bristol City proved to be a very, very poor month for us. And on to November, back to Dom.
Yeah, well, we continued our poor form with away to Wolves in possibly the only game I've ever been to expecting to lose 5-0 and losing the game coming out happy, which pretty much summed up as we were at that game. Like, we were diabolical that day, but it was honestly better than I thought it would be. And it was around this time that people were, talking about, murmuring about Jokanovic, whether he should stay or go. But after that international break, we came back with a 1-1 draw against Derby, who were doing well at the time, so it was a decent result. And then we followed that up with possibly the game of the season from a neutral perspective, with a 5-4 win at Sheffield United. Sessegnon getting his first professional hat-trick and Shea Ojo scoring 2 goals. So, that just shows how much of a weird day that was. And then we ended that month with a nice shithouse 1-0 win against Millwall from a penalty. Lovely stuff. Wouldn't have had it any other way. And we went to December. Jack, there's a lot of games to deal with.
Yep, giving it to the most professional man here, I understand. So moving on to Brentford. Obviously, that was a disappointing day for everyone involved. Losing 3-1 to our noisy and annoying neighbours. We then followed that up with a 1-0 win over Birmingham, which obviously Birmingham were then calling for Cottrell's head at that point. So obviously 1-0, fair enough. We got the 3 points. Sunderland were then needing to beat us to avoid going a whole year without a win. And they done it, unsurprisingly, with Font on the wing, Johansson in the middle, and Ojo also on the wing. You're not really going to expect much. The start of the 23-game unbeaten streak then started. 2-1 win at home to Barnsley wasn't the greatest, but you move on. You then go to Cardiff, which was an outrageous result. I didn't even expect us to get anything from the game, and we managed to win 4-2, which was fantastic. It was then the Abu show as he scored 2 goals in the second half to send the Fulham faithful happy away from Yorkshire. So, George, do you want to run us through January?
Started the month on the 2nd of January with a quality win against Ipswich after going 1-0 down. Kearney produced probably his best performance of the season and 4 quick fire goals put us with a 4-1 win. Although that was shortly followed up by a loss in the FA Cup to Southampton, but the unbeaten run in the league continued throughout the month with wins, crucially late on against Borough with a 95th minute Norwood penalty, and then followed up by a just completely incredible team performance against Burton in a 6-0 win, and then a solid 3-1 away win with 2 late goals away at Barnsley. So, Dom, if you want to go through February.
February was a month where we kind of showed our potential, especially in the Villa and Wolves games, 2-0 home wins. We started with a 2-0 win against Forest, which was the beginning of Matt Targett and Alexander Mitrovic in a Fulham shirt, which obviously turned out to be very good signings in the January window. A disappointing draw away at Bolton, but you can't take away from that Adam Lafondra screamer that he scored that day. Well, that's up for debate. Speaking of screamers, Florida 80 from the halfway line, topped off a great 2-0 win against Villa. We went to Bristol City in a very tough game, bombarded by long throws at Aidan Flint, got a 1-1 draw. Mitrovic got his first goal, which was crucial at the time. And then, probably one of the best performances of the season. 2-0 home to Wolves, champions-elect Wolverhampton Wanderers, that is. And, that was part of that kind of 6 games where we played pretty much the rest of the top 7. And the next 3 games were in March. Jack, takes away.
Yeah, so March really was a month to remember for Fulham. It all started on Pride Park, where we picked up a 2-1 victory. Early goals from Mitrovic and Sessegnon. Obviously, Huddleston got a consolation, but we managed to defend valiantly to ensure we got the 3 points. We then kind of took Sheffield United to the sword at the Cottage. 3-0 kind of, I think, really flattered Sheffield United. It could have been a lot more. And obviously, the Preston game was absolutely outstanding with a last-minute Mitrovic goal, really showing the quality that he provides for the side. I mentioned it was a month to remember, but it was certainly a half to forget for Fulham, especially against QPR. Obviously, it was a game of 2 halves with Fulham dominating the first half. Really should have been about 3 or 4 up. But obviously 2 goals, obviously one was in the first half, one was in the second half for QPR, really kind of put some concerns on the faces of Fulham fans, as it showed the defensive issues that we maintain to keep despite how quality we are going forward. Those were quickly brushed aside, though, as we kind of took Norwich again to the sword. 2 second half goals from Kenny and Johansson ensured that we ended March undefeated. Moving on to April, George.
So, as previously mentioned for February and March about how incredible our football was, April, although we did grind out 16 points out of a possible 18, showed that not always it's beautiful football that prevails, and we had to scrape out a lot of 1-goal wins, especially against Sheffield Wednesday, Reading and Sunderland. An incredible goal from Kevin McDonald in the first game of the month against Leeds set us off to a 2-0 win, coming well to there. And then against Sheffield Wednesday, the weekend, it was a Targett and Sessegnon masterclass down the left, and Mitrovic got the goal in a crucial win. And then a few days later, at home to Reading, another 1-0 win, another Mitrovic goal, proving that we can grind out results when we're not playing at our best.
Right.
Then
I'd like to make one point. Mitrovic did not score that game.
It was Johansson, I've just realised.
Apologies, but my OCD clicked in. I'm sorry.
It was Johansson. So it was Johansson that got the goal, not Mitrovic. And then, like QPR, another low point and another derby against Brentford. A late goal from Niall Maupay to equalise in the last minute to draw the game against Brentford 1-1 at the Cottage. Followed up by arguably the best 45 minutes of football we've seen Fulham play this season at the Den, with a 3-0 win at Millwall, completely tearing them apart in that second 45. And then, after a poor start against Sunderland, going 1-0 down, we grinded out another 2-1 win to show that don't need to play beautiful football to win every time. And then finally, on to May and pretty much just the Birmingham game. Dom?
Well, yeah, that game, going into that game, we knew if we betted Cardiff result, we'd be in second, we'd be in the Premier League, but despite the fact Reading actually did a job, although I maintain the fact that had we been winning, Cardiff would have won that game. we didn't have the bottle to do our own job. We lost 3-1 in a game that we deserved to lose 3-1. Many players didn't show up. Fredericks, Kearney, Janssen, just to name a few. But it was embarrassing, to be honest. And that, coupled with the fact, obviously, that we bottled it. Well, not bottled it, but we disappointed on that day. People going into the playoffs thinking, are we actually gonna do ourselves justice and win these playoffs? And after the first leg, people did not. It wasn't helped. The confidence was quite low, I'd say, from a lot of people. But luckily, I'm not in the Fulham camp, because we came out in that second leg and we absolutely blitzed Derby for 90 minutes. And as soon as we got that first goal, I think everyone knew we were going to get a second. But it was nervy. It was very nervy. George, talk us through your nerves pre-match of that second leg.
Well, after a 1-0 loss and the lack of clinicism in the games against Sunderland, Birmingham and the first leg against Derby, I was personally very worried that I didn't think we'd get the result to send us through. But from the off, we were the better side. We were creating chances, and it was only a matter of time before we got the goal, and it came through Sessegnon at the start of the second half, a very composed finish, which he continues to show how good he is for his age. And then an quite incredible header from Dennis Adoy to send us to Wembley, which sent the whole stadium, apart from the 2,000 travelling Derby fans, into absolute ecstasy.
Jack, when that goal went in, what was it like in the Stroubley era of H3?
The back of H3 was absolute carnage. I fell down the stairwell, which wasn't really ideal, but it's what you've got to do when you guarantee yourselves you're going to Wembley. Touching on what you were saying earlier regarding nerves of the game, to be honest, I was convinced that we were going to get the result. I think it was just a matter of time before we'd score the goal. Even at half-time at 0-0, when Carson was kind of having a bit of a masterclass in the first half, I just knew it was a matter of time. And obviously, Sessegnon got that early goal to really settle the nerves for Fulham. At that point, the Derby hedge dropped, and we just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And yeah, it was just a matter of time before we'd score that second and ensure that we'd be at Wembley.
Yeah, and the scenes following that final whistle was something that I think that's almost more special than like the goal itself. Like being on the pitch, just
I'd say the same, but
but like it was an experience that you as a fan, especially, I feel like you only live once or twice if you're lucky in your life. A pitch invasion like that, it was something that. It made the day. It just topped it off. Like just being in and around, like carrying the players, chanting around with all the fans, all the pictures. It's amazing, and it's what makes that day more than just a good game of football that we've won, an important game, but it's more of a memory. I feel like I'm going to remember that day more because of that pitch invasion.
My personal highlight of the entirety of it is obviously I didn't go on the pitch. I was with my granddad. He had a bad back, so we couldn't really climb the thing. So I stayed with him, and obviously I saw it from the back of H3. And my personal highlight was, I think it was about 5 minutes after the pitch invasion started, so a lot of people already on the pitch. And this one poor guy tried to walk onto the pitch, and he got absolutely clattered by 3 stewards. And it was just, it was in the Putney, and I saw it from afar, and I absolutely just lost it completely. It was absolutely hilarious.
And from a personal perspective, I don't know, since I really cared about football, I think the 2 things that I've always wanted, and I've said this multiple times, was to be on the Craven Cottage pitch and to see us at Wembley, and I'm going to witness it in the same month, and that's really special.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. I think that pitch invasion is the joy of that whole thing is because it's not because we've won a football game, it's because we're going to be at Wembley. I think that's like 43 years. Like if you've lived for those 43 years, it's been a long flipping. It feels long, and I've only been alive 18 years. And
exactly. Other fans are talking about how we've kind of overreacted as if we've already won the league, we're on the pitch. But this is a massive thing for us. Obviously, we are one of the few clubs that visited New Wembley, and for a lot of fans, they've never been to Wembley with Fulham. So it's time to right some wrongs and ensure that we do get back to where we do truly belong.
Yeah, we've been righting wrongs all season, and I think we've got one more to do, and that is winning at Wembley. Yeah, looking towards that playoff final. First of all, I think we're all in unanimous agreement that we wanted Villa over Borough.
Yeah, 100%.
Good. Obviously, I'm not going to say have they got any danger men. Obviously they do. If they weren't in the playoff final, they wouldn't be in the playoff final if they didn't have any danger men. But going into the playoff final in 9 days' time at Wembley, do you hand on heart think Fulham are going to win it, or are you afraid of Villa? I'll go Jack first.
I think that you can't underestimate the quality that Villa have. Obviously, when we played them in March, they didn't have, was it Grealish and Adoma were both out? Obviously, that's two massive players that are guaranteed to start. So I think to say people that if you think, we beat him 2-0 in March, that's it, blah, we're going to fucking do them again, is you'd be quite naive. Obviously, they're going to be up for it. We're going to be up for it. I think that we do have the quality and the calibre of player to beat Aston Villa. It's just whether we can hold our nerve for the 90 minutes to ensure that we do so. I do think we're going to be optimistic and say we're going to win 2-1, but obviously we can't just kind of say, right, we're favourites. It's going to be a walkthrough.
Yeah, I agree with that. George?
I personally agree. I think we'll win. But from watching previous playoff finals, I don't see there being more than a goal. Personally, I think we're going to win 1-0. I think the size of Wembley's pitch is only going to benefit us more than anything, with the way we pass around the back a lot of the time and tire the opposition out. And I also think that the way Steve Bruce sets up his teams quite defensively sometimes and waits for the other teams to come onto them, I don't think that'll work against a team like us. We can break through anyone on our day, and we've proved that against all the top teams in the league, like Wolves themselves, Cardiff, Villa themselves. I think our attacking threat will be a bit too much for them, and I think they won't be expecting us to break through as well as we will be able to. And I think, we'll be the one that gets the goal, and I think it'll be 1-0 to us.
So you both say that we'll win, and I know. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much because no one really cares. But if you had to pick one, who scores your winning goal at Wembley for Fulham?
Who's going first?
Jack.
Okay. For me personally, I would love to see Abubakar Kamara score the winner at Wembley. Just picture the scene. It's 1-0. It's the 90th minute. John Terry slips. Abubakar Kamara then runs through, slots it home. Instead of running towards the Fulham fans in jubilation, he just turns around and throws some gun signs up at John Terry. Absolute stuff of dreams.
Beautiful. George?
For me, there's a few it could be. There's a few that you choose because of their passion towards the club. There's a few you choose because of their performances. But personally, I just think it would be great to see Fredericks get his goal, like more than anything. And for it to come in the playoff final, I can't see a better time. So I'll go Fredericks.
I'm gonna go with Piazza. I'm sorry, but I am. Just because I think just because I think if he did do it, I think he'd, much like Rui Font, I think he would literally rip his shirt off and jump into that. Jump into the Wembley end and never be seen again. And to be honest, that's a great way to go out, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, it's a shame we won't be with the celebrations for up in the goals.
Permanently, I'm not bothered.
No, I think we're all in agreement that we don't care who, but it's just a bit of fun. I think
whoever scores the winner will go down as a legend of the club.
Exactly.
Okay, bro.
I hope it's Joe. Anyway, moving on. Before we end, we're going to go through our favourite personal moments of the season. This isn't because not footballing related, not the most pivotal result, but our favourite moment. If we had to go back to one moment in the season, where would it be? George, this time I'll start with you.
Okay, so I'd say that my personal highlight of the season would... I can't look past the other night against Derby, because not only was it one of the best performances of the season, like, we were on top the whole game. I didn't really think that we were going to lose. Like, obviously I was nervous because I didn't know if we were going to get the goal, but we were on top the whole time. And then, like, the pitch invasion, the first trip to Wembley in 43 years, the atmosphere, everything about it just made it perfect, and it was made all the sweeter that it was at Craven Cottage, which is a second home to many of us at this point. And no, I don't think, unless we win at Wembley, that will be trumped for years, personally.
For me personally, it's going to have to be, for me, the performance of the season, which was Wolves at home. I just think for 90 minutes we just bossed them, and if you didn't actually know what the league table was, you'd have said we were the side that were top of the league and favourites to be champions. I just think for 90 minutes we were fantastic, and we showed kind of the influence Mitrovic has on the side. And I just think that for me was absolutely ridiculous, and that was for me the turning point of thinking, hang on, we've got something special here. We've got something that could really do some damage.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with a biased curveball.
It's going to be red. It's going to be red.
No, it's not. It's going to be Wickham away.
Oh, fuck.
No. Hear me out. After Piazon scored, and this went so unnoticed, and I hate it. But after he scored, that was the first game second game, first away game that I brought
You're
the flag
going to point
to.
out how he looks at the Brazilian player.
Yeah, in his celebration, there's a picture of him after he's cuddling everybody, and he points his finger at the flag and does the little kiss to it. That was what
I could imagine that was special for you.
Yeah, that as a personal, not from a footballing perspective, from a personal perspective, that is one of my moments of the season. From a footballing perspective, I'd argue there's so many to choose from.
I think you've got to look at notable mentions on and off the pitch. I think on the pitch you've got to look at Middlesbrough away being a game-changing day. I think Millwall away, the performance.
Bristol Rovers at home.
Off the pitch, you've got to look at the departure of Craig Klein, which really gave Jukanovic full control again, and the signings made in January, particularly Matt Targett and Alexander Mitrovic. But yeah, there's been a lot of low points, more towards the start of the season, but they've been outdone in 2018 by the highs, and regardless of the result on Sunday, it's been a really special thing. Yep, Saturday.
But I think we can all agree that however many amazing moments we had this season, whatever personal memories are, if we win, exactly, it will be tough. Not it could be. It will be topped off at Wembley when in 9 days' time we lift the playoff trophy and we're into the Premier League. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we are that is going to end it then. That's Fulham done dusted. We could do one after the playoff final if we're not either depressed or off our heads.
If we do another one, it will be on the new channel, so it'll be in the description.
Yeah. I'll link it somehow somewhere.
Good.
Put it on the screen. Put it in the middle of the screen.
For the new YouTube channel, the Twitter account for it, and etc. in the description below.
The admin will all be done probably by me because I have to do it.
Yeah.
I'm doing the admin for the Twitter account, so calm down.
Get it. I'd have to do it. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to my guests. Thank you to my guests for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. This Skype call has been 2 hours and 27 minutes.
This is definitely not our fourth attempt at recording this.
Absolutely not. I don't know where you got that info from. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you. We won't see you here anymore. We will see you on the new channel, hopefully, or back here actually for Wembley vlog. That would be appreciated. I need the views. Thank you for watching, and we will see you whenever.
Bye.